Does anyone remember about a year ago you're reading the paper? I was reading the paper, and about a year ago, maybe last August, there was a big story that these people in Australia found the world's largest gold boulders ever. Like, one was 5,000 ounces, one was 10,000 ounces. There are pictures of these things like this that were half gold. Did anyone see that?
No.
Well, I remember seeing it because, as Tim alluded to earlier, I like to invest in gold and silver, real money. So, of course, I saw this article because I kind of followed the business anyway. And when I first saw it, I was like, it's probably fake, you know. Where do they discover these big, huge gold boulders? I know how hard it is to find 1 ounce, and they found these. It's probably something weird, fake on the internet. But then, maybe a few weeks later, I started thinking about it. I was like, well, I invest in gold stocks sometimes, you know. Maybe I should check it out. You never know. So I checked it out, and it turned out to be a true story. Reputable sources. The gold was real. You know, it wasn't some Bre-X thing like 50 years ago. Because you have to be careful. Like, no, this is really real. So it turned out it was real, and it was actually a publicly traded company. I was like, really? So of course I started looking into it a little more, and I read the whole story. The gold was discovered in Australia at this mine called the Beta Hunt Mine, and it was being run by, there's a lot of mining stocks. They're really like penny stocks because there's thousands of these companies. Most of them never make money. They look for gold, they go broke, and actually this company was going broke. They were just about near bankruptcy, and they were going to sell the mine. They had bought the mine a few years earlier for, I don't know, $10 or $20 million because it did have some good drilling results of previous drilling results that said there was gold there. So anyway, they were down to their last few dollars, and the year leading up to that, they had found a little bit here, 500 ounces there, 100 ounces there. But then last August, or over a period of a couple of days, they pulled out 30,000 ounces of gold out of the size of a living room, which is like unheard of.
Wow.
As I said before. So they pulled this gold out, they started doing a lot of TV interviews, and of course I was, at this time, started following the stock and trying to learn more about it, because still I wasn't sure yet. So I started learning more about the company, watching videos of the CEO, blah, blah, blah. And so now with this 30 million, they weren't going bankrupt anymore, they paid off their debts, and like I said, it was a penny stock. It had been trading at like 10 cents a share, and after they found the 30 ounces, it went up to like over $1. Luckily, I found out about it later. I didn't buy it at $1. I found out about the company was trading at around 50 cents. So the more I looked into it, the more I thought, well, maybe it's worth a shot, because I kind of go by my gut a lot of times. Whereas, especially on Wall Street or anyone else, people want data. I was just reading a story in the Wall Street Journal today where companies always look at data to make decisions, yet they said maybe CEOs should go more by their gut. And I'm not a mining person, but I was thinking, well, I mean, if someone pulls, this was 500 feet underground, if someone pulls 30,000 ounces out of one small spot, I mean, it would just seem to me there's probably more gold there. Maybe not. Maybe it was some fluke of nature, but at the same time, you would think if there's whatever is creating that gold there, I mean, unless they were just like incredibly lucky, it's probably worth a shot. So I started buying them with the stock a little bit at a time, you know, a few $1,000s here and there. I started doing this about a year ago, and of course the company, now that they had found the gold, what most mining companies do, once they think they have a good mine in a good area, they need to drill it so they can drill out the resource. They drill down, they see what's actually there, they test the core samples, and they can say, this drill hole had 5 grams per ton, this drill hole had 10 grams per ton, this and that. So they started doing that, and towards the spring they had finished their drilling program, and it went pretty good. They discovered a lot of good drill hits. They ended up with a resource of over 1 million ounces of gold. So supposedly things look good, but at the same time, while they were doing this, they stopped mining. Because they had been mining a little bit, but they decided to do the drilling program, we can't mine at the same time. So what happened was the company started running out of money again. Now what happens is a lot of these companies do these drilling programs and they think, well, a major is going to buy them because, you know, they have these results, the gold is there, well, someone's going to buy us. But whether or not they were looking to do that, no one's really sure. But they kind of started running out of money again, so they started kind of falling down. They had the 30,000 ounces out of a living room and good drill results, but at the same time, Wall Street wants to know, are you going to have profits? So the stock started going down again. They changed the CEOs. I look at some chat boards and people were like, wow, I bought this stock and now it's a piece of junk and this and that. Like I said, they brought in some more CEO and some other managers. They brought in like gold specialists that really knew what they were doing. And the main thing is they started producing gold again. A few months ago they stopped the drilling campaign and started producing about 8,000 ounces a month, which was pretty good, which put them on track for 100,000 ounces a year. And so now things are turned around good. I think the stock is at 30 cents American. It also trades on the Canadian exchange. I'm still underwater, but I'm feeling very good about it. I still think it's an excellent investment, and it could be easy double or triple, just because what scared off a lot of people on Wall Street in the mining community was when they had finished a drilling campaign, they had stopped mining. That first quarter after the spring, there was a big loss because they weren't mining, they were just drilling, and people were like, wow. They had to sell some shares, they had to raise more capital because maybe the first CEO wasn't running it properly, but they never really had gone through, no company has ever really gone through this situation before. Usually, just to backtrack, when a junior miner starts this whole process, it might take 10 years. You start drilling, you need permits to build, you have to build the mine out. This, I forgot to mention, had already been in nickel mines, so they already had the ramps and everything in place. So, whereas a junior miner explorer might take 10 years to go from drilling to mining, this company was doing it in 1 year. So it was a situation that people weren't really familiar with, and Wall Street is really not that interested in gold anyway. So now I think it's in a position, like I said, they're producing 8,000 ounces a month, and they still find these specimen gold. Last month they found a pocket of 3,000 ounces and 2,000 ounces, and these are pure profit. That's 5 million, 2 million, and this goes right to the bottom line. So right now the company has completely turned itself around. I believe they're profitable. The next week or two they should be coming out with their next earning report. And to me, I don't know if it's the investment of a lifetime anymore. I'm not sure of that, but I do think it's an excellent investment. For the next year, I do think it's a good chance to do well. And also, many of you probably, most people don't follow gold stocks and whatnot, but just by reading in the paper you can see gold over the past year has been a good investment. People are worried about interest rates going down, government's still printing money, we had a teacher strike we're talking about. The fact is most governments, cities, US, all over the world, they're in debt. So many people think gold will do well. And the best way to make money off a gold investment, if it does well, is with a good gold stock, because you get like 3 times the movement, where if a gold doubles in price from 1,000 to 2,000, a good gold stock might go up 6 times, because they have that, they're getting, for every little bit the price of gold goes up, their profits go up 2 or 3 times as much. So I will close it with one more thing. I said I went and read something on a chat board just today, and not that I spend all my time on chat boards, but sometimes you can discuss, because these people live and die for this one stock, so they know every little thing about it. And this one guy, he said something interesting, whether or not you think it's a good stock, this analyst might be that, or some analyst might, say something else, but like I alluded to it in the Wall Street Journal, this guy in the chat room, he said, well, usually Mother Nature tells you something. I mean, when there's 30,000 ounces pulled out of the size of a living room somewhere on the ground, isn't Mother Nature telling you that, maybe where there's smoke, there's fire? Maybe, maybe not, but that was just something I thought of today. Anyway, I am glad I was able to give you this information, and as always, do your own due diligence, and good luck.